Hello ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flush Man here today, going to teach you how to make one of these water vortex units right here. This is a reversing window fan available at Walmart, Target, all kinds of stores including hardware stores like Canadian Tire, different places. These are available. They're called window fans, and what they can do, there's two fans in there that can change directions. So you can spin it to the left and you can spin it to the right. Spinning it to the left deactivates the microbes and that brings the water to a balanced neutral state. Turning it to clockwise charges the water and structures the water. If you live in the northern hemisphere, on the north side of the planet above the equator, then by spinning it to the right you are charging it and structuring it. If you live on the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite. You would charge it by spinning it to the left. Because we're in the northern hemisphere, we spin it to the left to deactivate it and spin it to the right to charge it. So a lot of motors that aren't dual like this, which was a new thing I figured out here when I saw it and I couldn't believe it, and then they're actually available everywhere, so at stores but also thrift stores for as low as $10 up to $20, and even brand new they're around $35 or something. So this is great because this is going to structure the water, and we're going to teach you how to change the hydrogen bond angle to the water from pentagonal to hexagonal water. So changing the molecular structure of the water to make it more bioavailable, which means more absorbable, and can permeate the cell walls very easily by changing the hydrogen bond angle of the water. And we do that by applying this magnet in a hexagonal formation like this. So I'm going to show you where to get these magnets. These are 1-inch rare earth neodymium magnets, 1-inch diameter with an 8-inch thickness. These are really powerful. The magnets come in a variety of sizes and strengths. So explore and try. You can do smaller versions for just a glass of water, or up to large ones like this and beyond. Even over here, I'll show you. There's also the big demijohn up here, which is the 12-gallon version, and this gets amazing vortex. That's a vortex unit there. I'll show you that one near the end of the video in operation, and that one uses nice powerful magnets as well. So inside the glass here we're going to be adding these magnets, which I have, this is 15 millimeter and these are 1/2-inch sphere magnets. I put a couple magnets in between, and then I put a plastic tubing over top. I will show you and tell you exactly how to do all this and where to get the magnets with the links. There's many online magic stores available. I recommend magnetsforless.com, magnets for less with the magnets and then the number 4 less. And anyways, they get these for really good prices for what you're going to get. Now if you leave the plastic on the tips a little bit, you can just drop it directly in and it's not going to hit the glass. This one has a little bit not enough of an edge there, so I use my tool, which is just a metal rod like this with a little magnet on the bottom. And the secret is you don't want to have it connect like this. What I do is this way. That way it's just, it doesn't want to connect here. It goes to the side like that. It'll only connect to the side, but it's just barely on there. If you go this way, it's hard to get it off. So just a little tip there. You go up here, you put it in, and well, that one we already have. We dropped the other one, and then you just go down and it'll pull it to the magnet. You put it to the other magnet and then pull it to the side. And that's it. You got to take those in and out as you structure the water. But if the magnet is perfect, you can leave them in for weeks and weeks and there'll be no oxidation. If you see rust, oxidation, especially if the glass and it's rubbing against the glass and you don't have the tube in there, it'll oxidize like in a couple of days. So this prevents the oxidation and makes it very quiet. I'll show you. We'll turn it on. Just make sure it's plugged in. Wait one. Go. All right. So this one wasn't. Yeah, just turn it off. This one There we go. Okay, so we're going to teach you exactly how to make this. It's a tutorial from start to finish. I'm going to teach you how to make a water vortexer like this. So here it is in operation. I just turned it on. These are 4-gallon carboys for water or making wine, available at winemaking supply stores, as well as on used online classified ads and local ones. You can pick them up for 10 to 15 bucks basically is about what you want for those. There it is. The vortex is now just beginning to connect there, and you see it's a nice beautiful stream, almost 0-point energy, where the bubbles go up and down and have a hovering like effect. When the bubbles hit the magnet, you see all the oxygenation. This one is not quite connected, it's just starting to connect. So you see the bubbles, now a bit of bubbles. And these are, most of these window fans, they also have varying speeds too, which give you different properties. If you bring the water down to say halfway there, it'll have way more oxygenation of the bubbles in a faster period. But this is very quiet sounding, and if you put the magnets right up top that I talked about for changing the hydrogen bond angle, you want the magnets to be applied very close to where the vortex is happening. Now up here, this is a real vortex here. These are just 0-point bubbles coming down. So this is basically the perfect vibration, because you're oxygenating the water. It's very, very quiet. And then you can structure the water, because this is very, very close to the actual vortex spinning there. And you can see the bubbles right in here. We'll get a close-up here. I'll get a zoom up in close. And then this here, when it's applied there, these magnets can actually change the hydrogen bond angle to hexagonal water. So this is amazing. The sacred geometry, the language of light in the star tetrahedron, the Merkaba field, our vehicle of like becoming a UFO in our cells. So here we go. That's it. These ones will charge, and I'll show you how to make these, and we're going to make perfect ones. This was the prototype, so we want a perfect magnetic frequency harmony there. And we'll get into this. I'll show you the tutorial. You can, make this for this whole thing we got here. Definitely under $100, and it'll have all the features, both of them, with all the magnets to change the hydrogen bond angles, and very nice unit. So we'll get into the tutorial here. All right. So this is a fan right here. This is one of those fans. They're called window fans, and they all have the reversing fans. So they both go. So it's like having 4 separate motors, because you would have 2 that go to the left and 2 to the right. But because they're on the same fan, you don't even need to move your object, and you can get it to go either way you want. So this is the reversing, the little buttons here. If you buy this at a thrift store, just plug it in and make sure everything works. It'll have different speeds usually as well, and then the reversing. And this one at the thrift store was $27.95. I have seen them at thrift stores. I believe I got this one here for 10 bucks, the one I got here. And as well, it's got different speeds here, so you can see. Now look at the oxygenation of this one right now. Look at all the bubbles right now at the different speeds. So you build the speed, and you can get more oxygenation or less, depending on what you want. So we'll show you how to do this. So every one is custom, and basically all we're doing is we're gonna take the tin snips, stronger than scissors, and cut this out, cut that out. And then we're going to take out the motor, we're going to unscrew it, we're going to turn it upside down, cut out the fan wheels, and then apply 2 magnets on either side, tape them down, and then put a top over top with a hole in the middle, so you can raise up the magnets above, and so we'll get into that here and check it out. Just if you don't want to watch the whole tutorial, just skim through it and see what I'm doing. The basic concept is simple. Cut this out, reverse the motors, and put on the magnets, and then put on the top, and you got it. It's quick and easy to do. All you'll need is one of those and some magnets and some tape and a few little tin snips or scissors or something, that alternative ways you can cut it. So we'll get into it. Alright, here we are to the tutorial on how to make one of these double reversing water vortex water structures here. The Vortexer. So this one is already here, and I've pre-built. This one was the first one I did with the window fan. These window fans all have reversing effects of the motor to go dual left clockwise and counterclockwise with both motors. So you have a total of 4 different spinning directions with the 2 motors built right into it. So I put a piece on the bottom here to mount it so it would be flat and wouldn't wobble. Then I put in a couple pieces on the sides here that mounted this together and screw the screws in. Countersunk them below the wood here so that it's all smooth surface for the big glass carboys to go on. And then so that's all solid here, and reinforced the middle here so that didn't sag. That I learned from the last one. So we're gonna customize and make a new one from scratch. This is the tutorial on how to make the water vortexer with the double reversing window fan. So this one, if you see it in operation right there, I'll turn on the motor here. It's got different speeds. They usually all come with different speeds. So here we go. There it is right there. It's a nice spin. It's quite powerful. Get a good structure going. A little lower there. The nice and quiet motor though. It's mostly the sound of the fan, so they're very quiet. And lower even again. And then you usually got to do one more cycle with them, so you go. Yeah, so each one's different. So I learned this one now. So there's 3 different speeds on that one. But to reverse, you see it going to the right there. They're both spinning to the right. If I switch it to the left, and now you see the spin is to the left. And you can have alternating, one to the left, one to the right. And I highly recommend that. And then you put your hands at the above of the funnel and you send your loving intention right through the vortex into the water, and you have the balancing of the male and female with the spinning. So you could do one to the left and the right one to the right. And now I'll stop it, and you'll see that to the left, this one to the right. So that's a beauty. And you can alternate them without moving it. So these are really awesome. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, and like I said before in the tutorial, they're available for brand new, these motors at hardware stores and places like that. We'll have these for about 30 bucks, 25, 30, 40 bucks at the most. You know, you can get them thrift stores for like 10 bucks, and then used online classified ads for like 10 or 20 bucks as well. So it's an awesome deal because you almost have everything you need. All you really need is the magnets and glass jars, and those are pretty easy to come by. Now, if you're gonna go through the trouble of doing this, you gotta buy the neodymium rare earth magnets. You don't want to use the little black ones. They're not strong enough. So here, we'll get into the tutorial now. We're gonna show you the tools you'll need to do this. It's not too much stuff. And alright, we'll get into it. Here are some of the tools of the trade that you need to make these motors here as gifts, or to sell them, or trade them. So you need some tape here. This is the clear tape, and that's going to make you so you can make the magnets like this, so that they show. You can put the clear tape over top. That looks really nice. You can see them spinning. So get the clear tape, as well as some electrical tape. I like blue and green for the watercolors, and then you're gonna want, like, definitely a screwdriver that has a lot of different fittings. You want some with the different shapes, squares as well as Phillips, the star ones, and then a couple pens to mark on pieces of wood, a measuring tape here to measure the wood, and a straight piece of wood as well to mark the lines. And then the one power tool you're going to want to have is the jigsaw. because then this one is you're gonna be able to cut out the wood. So right now we're gonna want to put the wood on top here. So we're gonna, next thing is cut out the piece of wood for here. So I've decided of how I'm gonna do it, because the fan, you see the fan is on the other side, so you have to take this part out and then flip the fan over and mount it to the bottom. So there's going to be a wood piece on the bottom mounted here, so it's for stability, and then the motor will be mounted onto that wood by screwing it in solid. And so right now I'm looking at some pieces of wood, and I got this nice one right here, and this one's a really thick plywood here too, so it's like 3/4 or something. So I measured it right here, took the measuring tape here and lined it up right here where exactly at 8.5 would fit in here. So I drew the line at 8.5 and 8.5, and then take the straight piece here, line up the two markings, and then just double check it again, just make sure everything's lined up, and then make your cut there with the jigsaw. And then as well, the jigsaw is how we cut out the centers in the middle so the magnets can come up, by drilling a hole. So having a drill will be really good as well. We drill a hole, and then we draw a circle with a cup or something. So we'll do that next. I'll cut this now, and this will be quick and easy to build. Alright, your own tutorial video. Alright, so now I have cut the piece of wood. It fits right in there perfect. So that's going to be beauty. We're now going to cut this around here with the tin snips. One other tool I didn't mention is the tin snip, so we're just going to go across here and snip right around the edge, all the way around, and get access. But this is perfect there. Then I may put another wood over top so that it can fit the large carboys, or just do a smaller one with the smaller jars like this. So yeah, but now I'll cut this all up here. So yeah, so snipping this part is a cinch with these tin snips here. Basically you want to go right to the edge, so it's gonna get a nice round, nice clean job. So go right to the edge. Alright, so now our tin snips here, and we'll cut this side. Alright, now you can see the fan is out. One of the blades broke there, which doesn't matter at all because we cut these off anyways. So now I'm going to unscrew these on both of them and cut off the fan part, and then we'll be ready to just add the piece of wood and screw them in, and we're almost there already. That's how quick it is. So this one is the Star, which is called the Phillips. Now I've taken the screws out there, so it just pops off like this, and that is perfect. So we'll just get out any of the plastic pieces. Alright, and then now, because this was this way, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of wood right on the bottom here, and we're going to drill a little hole in the bottom so that that piece that sticks out doesn't rub, because that's connected to the motor and you don't want that rubbing. But this is nice and flat, so we'll go get the piece of wood in here, just in little square or round pieces, and for the bottom we'll screw that in, and then we'll screw this on top right here, and as well, and then we'll do this one as well. So I'll do this one first, and then we'll get the wood together. Alright folks, we're back here, and trim this all up nice and clean here, and so I've decided to go with this wood piece on the bottom there, that'll give it stability. So, and that's what will allow to mount the motor on there. So I'll line that up, line it all up, and then what we're going to do is where the motors go here to mount the motors, I'm going to take these two wood pieces like this, and they're going to go right there, and we're going to screw that down onto the base. That piece of wood down there, we're going to screw that on, and then the motor will be able to go on top of this and we'll screw it in. But I also have this little piece from the last one I made. From the other one I made, I cut out, this was the piece to cut out on the wood top. So this, I just drill a hole in the middle, it goes centered in here, and then this little thing lines up inside the hole. That way there's nothing's rubbing. And then finally, when this goes on here, we can add more wood to bring it up so it's just at the right level for the carboys that we're using. So the next thing we'll do, we'll just put these pieces of wood in. Now the reason why there's two pieces of wood, like this, two pieces like that, is because there's a little plastic line piece that sticks up there, so it wouldn't be on there properly. So just put it on either side like this, and we'll screw it in there, and we'll have it all mounted in. Okay, and we've lined it all up. Now we're gonna mount in these wood pieces here. We're gonna screw them down to the base. We want them to be lined up. Right in the middle. Usually everything's lined up. We got two of them mounted, and that's holding the bottom down. So we'll just screw these guys in. The other side here, have them all mounted on. we are, folks. And now I'm just gonna line up, and we're gonna drill the hole out of the center with the cup. We're gonna draw the circle here and here, and so just to line this up, get it centered here like this. And then here I just made a little mark, and again at this bolt right at the center, and then just take your straight edge and just need a little line there. Doesn't need to be too strong. You can decorate this later, like painting it or do whatever you want, and then we'll just mark off the center here. So we're at 8.5, so 4.25. Alright, so there's the center right there. That one. And this one. So now we'll line up, because this is glass, you can just get it right in the center. Get it in the center, then hold it down. Alright, looking good, and then I'll go cut these out now. So what I'm going to do is get a drill bit here. I'll show you the drill bit as long as it's thicker than the jigsaw blade. So check it out now. We got the here's the jigsaw. So the jigsaw and drill are the two power tools you need. This is a big drill bit that has a small shaft right here that's able to fit a normal sized drill with a big circle like this. So because that circle is way bigger than the diameter of the blade here, what we're going to do is just drill a hole right near the side here, just near the side, don't go over the line, and then just take the jigsaw and just guide the jigsaw, go really slow, and get a nice good cut on the circle there. Alright, and this is where we're at now, folks. Drilled some holes, so I'll show you what we got. Here's the fans, and you've seen up to this part we mounted those wood parts. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to have smaller holes like this size. That way I could even do as small as jars as like this, and that they can go on top like that. So or say such as a jar like these little 1 liter milky things, jug things. This one was 75 cents at a thrift store. This is a nice glass one. This was a $4 at a thrift store, and that will fit nicely over as well. So yes, another little thing here is these kind of jars. You can find them at thrift stores. This one was $3.99, and they look, if you look at the sides there, it's a perfect 12 sides. So we're going to apply the magnets, and that way they'll be perfectly lined up. The sacred geometry. So I cut these holes with one of those circular saws. So it was this size, and the drill bit goes in the middle to line up, and then poof, go right through. This one here, I'm in an apartment building, and it's like late at night, so I just tried to do a quick job, just cut around there, not take my time, just try to do it quickly. So now I can basically line this up here, and that's enough in there so that when I add this over top, you only see the nice little holes here. And this is a nice big platform as well for a bit bigger jars as well. So that's going to be perfect for that. And these little plastic pieces I had around the house for ABS or PVC pipe fittings. So this just goes right in that little hole there, and it mounts right in there. It just happened to be a perfect fit. Got lucky with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it down over here, tape it to the side, and then wrap it around the fan part, and then put the magnets up top here, so that it's nice and light. Because when this is light and stuff, then the motors work better, they spin faster, and they don't work as hard. So we'll show you that process here. I'm just gonna now next thing will be to cut the fan, the blades right to the edge there with the scissors, both fan blades. Alright. check it out. There we go. It's all taped on there. Alright. Good enough. Now for the next one. Okay, now folks, check it out. They're both done here now. It's got a little bit of a wobble here, but it's still quiet, and it's not going to affect much of the magnetic, the spin. Each got just a slight bit wobble, not bad. So yeah, the reason why I did that though is so that I put the thin one on there so I can have the smaller holes like that. Right there. So what I found, the next step was this here. See how it moves a little bit. It can move if you have heavy carboys on here, if you do the big one. So one step here is to put a piece of wood underneath here and screw it to the bottom there. So this is solid here. And then we got to mount these on here. So we can lift them up, raise them up by adding these little pucks in there and raise it up. So we'll adjust the length depending on what we need for that. I have different size ones, but again, you want to drill the hole out the center right there, so that the bottom of the motor right there, the little piece sticking out, just goes right in there. Then everything spins, and we'll just screw it right down, mounted in the center there. So that's what we have the next steps. Alright, I added the piece in the middle there, so that's solid. And all I really did here was just like a puzzle. I fit these three pieces of wood in there. So here's one of them, one in the middle, the side, and it just fits snug right in the side there. So it's solid, and I can always screw it in if I want to. I'll screw it in, and then here we'll set the top and mount these in, and we'll be ready. Now we got the wood pieces here drilled in the middle. We're going to go right down in the center here, and this one as well. And we want these about exactly the same height here, so everything should be pretty good. Alright, now just line up that in the center of the hole there. This one here. Alright, that's looking good, so now we'll just screw it all in. Alright, and then we're going to screw it in now. Now this is where I just want to go and hand tighten it here. There we go. So let's get this on. See how that's lining up Alright, that's perfect. Alright folks, I want to show you where we're at now. I cut the holes in this piece here with, I'll show you the drill bit I used for that. Here's the wood piece inside. These are circular drill bits, and you can get different sizes depending on what size piece you have on your motor here. Alright, just a little tip for getting these out too. All you do is you screw a screw in. Once you here, we'll even screw it in with this got the fitting on there. Okay, so you just drill it in and then wiggle it back and forth and you pull it out. And so here's the little blades around here, and then there's a nice normal drill bit in the middle. So you just line that up when you make your mark, and you line the drill bit right there, and it'll go straight in like that. And you kind of just want to wiggle the drill kind of back and forth a little bit, and don't give it too much pressure. You don't want to wear down your motor, though there could be electric sparks come out and stuff because it's working really hard. So take your time and take a little break as well. This is pretty thick, heavy, dense wood, so it took about maybe a minute to get through. But it does a perfect circle like that. Now this one here I cut with the jigsaw. You saw that saw. So Those are for bigger circles. That's about as small as you can get with the jigsaw, but if you get a thinner blade, you can get really small as well. So that's another option. Now what I've done here now, alright, you've seen it from the mounting of the inside of the motors, cutting it out, flipping the motors over, and then mounting them to the wood on the bottom there. And then now I've built up the sides with wood right here, in order so that this plate here, this wood plate, won't move at all. It won't push down or anything. You got support in the middle with the support beams here, and the two sides all screwed in strong. And this is a 3/4 inch plywood, which is really strong as well. So that goes on here. And then, as you've seen, the little custom job I did making these top pieces, that way we could get smaller holes to fit objects like this over. Alright, so, and nice and flat here. So really all I got to do now is screw this down and apply the magnets, and then we're basically ready to go here. So it's you know, each one is custom. You custom make it. This one had the ridges here, so I just had the piece that fit inside there. And then I wanted to make the surface a little larger for the big carboys, but I also wanted to do the small jars like this that couldn't fit here over those rings, so then just having this another piece over. So it's awesome. I think it's going to work really good. This will be able to do the big carboys. I've measured it out. They fit right in here just perfectly on this piece. And then as well, we could go right down to even the nice little jars like this that I get at the thrift stores here, $3.99, which has a perfect 12-sided with the glass, so you can just apply the 1-inch magnets perfectly. They fit all together and make highly structured water with more dimensional levels of the magnetic fields applied to the Vortex. Alright, so we'll just finish this tutorial up here and we'll see it in action. We'll see you back here in a bit. Okay, now I've just screwed the top on here, countersunk the screws in the pieces of wood on the side, so you want that flat. You want to make sure. What I did was I drilled a small pilot hole. I'll show you with the with a small drill bit like that, and then I put a little bit of a bigger drill bit on the top, just in a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch. That way the screw can countersink in there just nicely and holds it all together. So this is a really nice solid unit now. It isn't going to tip over. It's solid. The wood doesn't push down. That's important. And finally here we will put on the top here, and that's all lined up perfect. So same thing, we'll drill the holes, pilot holes, and then a bigger drill bit, and then we'll countersink the screw heads in so nothing will be touching to break the glass. So we'll just do that now. Okay, so for that we'll just like I said, use that little small drill bit here to get the pilot hole started. So we'll do 2 here and 2 here, and maybe 2 in the middle as well. So yeah, that's what we'll do here, and then we'll add the magnets. So just make sure, look underneath and see where the wood is. So just, you know, we're going to want those 4 corners right there. So that is about right here. There's the pilot hole, and of course you can measure it up so it's exact or perfect, or you can just eye it. You want to make sure it's going into the wood in the bottom there. That's the main thing. And we'll do yeah, it's good for now. So now Now we're going to do a slightly bigger drill bit here, but not bigger than the head of the screw. That way it can still have pressure there. It won't just go in. Now it only needs to be a little bit. So that's great right there. You don't want to go too far, so just lightly press the drill. There we go. Now we'll put on the square bit for the screws I have. And this is a nice big head on there, solid, good screw there. And so last thing, just make sure it's all lined up so none of this will be rubbing when it spins. Double check everything here. If you need to realign underneath here too, you can get your screwdriver in there still and tighten that little piece in there to get this to fit perfectly flat. But we could fine tune those adjustments later, so you want to get it right in the middle and just spin them to make sure they don't touch if they're a little wobbly. So that's about perfect. Okay, right about there. And then we'll fine tune it after that. Fine tune adjustments there. Okay. So there we go. We'll get the first one in. Now that screw is just slightly underneath, so it's countersunk. You give it one little last torque at the end too. Another one here. And just double check the line up again here. There we go, right there. That's sunk in nice. Just a little bar. There we go. Alright, there's no rubbing right now, but we're going to fine tune it again as well. And so we'll come back here and we'll apply the magnets and fine tune this, and we'll be ready to spiral some spirulina. Alright, so here we are now. I just tightened those a little bit to get them a little flatter here, so it's all tuned up nice here, pretty good. I'm happy with it. And so now we're going to apply the magnets here. The first set of magnets, these ones go on the motors here, and then the other set of magnets go in your glass jar. So first we're going to go over these magnets that I use here. These are about 30-pound pull magnets, neodymium rare earth magnets, 50-pound or 30-pound pull each. They're 1 inch in diameter and 1/8 inch thickness. They are available online. Magnets for less is good. I'll have the links in the description, and maybe if I remember I'll put it on the video as well. So basically you just need to know the dimensions. If you go online and buy magnets, all you need to know is 1 inch. These are 1 inch diameter by 1/8 inch thickness, and this one is roughly 30-pound pull. They come in different pound pulls. This is one of the higher ones. So what you want to do here is you don't want to put them on the same like this, where they're connected like this, like that, or they're north and north and south and south. You want a north and south. So if you flip the magnet over, you'll feel the resistance there, and then it'll just connect to the side. If you had it the other way, it won't connect. It'll just go like that. So as long as it goes like that, you're good. Then just place that down onto the magnets right in the center. And then what I prefer to do is I prefer to use the clear tape so that you can see the magnets and it just looks more visual, and then you can show people the magnets you use and the sizes you use. These are really nice and strong, so they have a really powerful magnetic field which can do the really big glass jars, such as the carboys, the 4-gallon carboys for water and making wine. So alright, so here's the tape. Just put it directly over and then down the sides, so that then you can wrap that down, which will hold it all together. You don't want any creases on the magnet, you just want it to be perfectly flat, and that's what works good with the clear tape. If you try to use other tapes like electrical tape, it ends up bunching up and stuff. So this gives a nice flat surface where the magnets are. Alright, so you want, basically a nice good seal, so a couple pieces, one each way, so the magnet's not going to slide to the side either, right across. And then the last thing I do after that, it's really easy to apply the magnets, is I just add some electrical tape around the sides to secure it all in, that clear tape. So just give it a nice tug so it's nice and strong, solid. And then for aesthetics, what I end up doing after is I place more blue tape along the top and fill in the cracks by cutting pieces of the tape, and then it looks really professional and really nice on there. So we've got a nice good one there. Now we'll apply the magnets to the other one. So we'll do it one more time, same thing. So to do this, you'll need 4 magnets, and where I get them, I'll have the link to this. It comes in a 5-pack of 3 of these magnets for $15 plus shipping. So it ends up being $3 a magnet, which is a really good deal for how strong these are. And so rare earth magnet. The same thing, just put it in the middle again, line it up in the middle. You want to be pretty accurate, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's mainly, as long as you have strong enough magnets, they're going to spin at the speed of the motor, so it doesn't have to be precise. So here we are, just apply this tape again, the clear tape. Remember not to get any creases where the magnet part is, just get a nice flat surface on there. If you do get creases, just get another piece of tape and do it again. Alright. And like the other one, 2 pieces of tape. That way it's on there very secure. You're not going to have to redo it. One each way, no creases on the magnet, perfect. And then the last thing with this is the same thing, is to wrap it with the blue tape around the side. Nice and strong, solid. Alright, looking good. Last thing is just do the final touches here with the blue tape. Fill in the cracks around the edge so it's just all nice and you just see the magnet. So I'll do that and I'll show you, come back to the finished product. Alright, now we got it all back on here. It's all nice, it's all spinning good. It's just below the surface, which is perfect for mini glass jars. You can always add more magnets on top and tape them on. Make sure you tape them or they will fly off because the motor's fast. Yeah, if you need to raise it, just add a couple more magnets. Otherwise, just customize the fit by adding other pieces of wood below or taking wood out to adjust it. You really only need these two magnets. Putting more magnets could put stress on the motor for the spin, and it's unnecessarily more magnet, because this is already a really powerful magnet. Alright, so anyways, I'll turn it on, show you how it works here. Turn it on, they're spinning, no sound, nothing touching. Look, listen, I'll stop speaking and you can hear how quiet this motor is. It's a nice little, and if you put your hand over the magnets, you could definitely feel the energy. So because this is a dual fan here, a window fan, you could switch the direction of each one alternately. So that one, you see it spin change to the left there. So now you have the male and the female. Here you put your hands over and you get powerful energies coming out of the magnet in and of themselves right there. Put your hands over. You can change, of course, the directions just like this. No problem. Easy to do, and has multiple speeds, as they all have. So you can change the power of the vortex. So last thing I'm going to tell you about is the magnets that go inside the jars, and then we're gonna get this in operation. So you stop from start to finish. There's currently two kinds of magnets I am using to do inside the jars, which I have found to be by far the best, and those are spherical magnets. I'm using two kinds, so they're complete spheres. Now the ones I'm preferring right now are the larger ones. These are 15mm ones. The smaller ones here are spheres as well. They are 1/2 inch. Now if you look inside, you notice a little bit of oxidizing. I have left them in there as an experiment for a couple weeks, and it doesn't oxidize very much, just a little bit, and you can clean that off as well. But the part of the process of taking care of your water vortexer is to take out the magnets when you're done. Every time, take out the magnets. Now you can do the magnets with just magnets and the glass. Now it does make a lot of noise, and it will oxidize faster. It scratches the magnets, and when it sits on the glass, it oxidizes. If you put these little plastic tubing over it, it's really quiet, and it protects the glass for getting the magnets in and out, and it doesn't oxidize. You leave it in for 3 or 4 days, you won't get any rust, any oxidization. And you know, and if you leave it in with the magnet without the plastic tubing, it'll oxidize really quickly, like a day or two, whereas this can last a couple weeks. Alright, so the way I do that with the tube is you just got to get the right size tubing. You see, this one is too small here, and they have the diameter. This is for 1/2 inch, so that would be the right one for the small spheres here, the 1/2 inch ones. Now the 15mm works perfect with the 5/8 stuff, 5/8 tubing that you get at the hardware store. Alright, and you just push it in there, and it's a nice you don't have to press too hard, but you got to give it a bit of pressure. Then it goes in, and what you can do is you can either experiment by putting magnets in the middle as well to make it a bit wider. But I have found that these magnets here work best when they're put right next to each other. The magnetic field is the most powerful, and it gets a really good vortex, and it's easy on the motors. Alright, so also you see how this magnet is sticking out the side? We're going to go over that. If you drop that in, boom, it could hit the glass, right, and break the glass. So my newest thing is I leave a little edge there, just on the outside there, so when you drop it in, it hits the plastic. And if you're taking it in and out and it drops by accident, it's not going to crack the glass. Alright, so it's a really good idea to add a little bit to the sides there. So we'll do that here. We'll come back and we'll finish this, and then we'll get it in operation. Alright, I'll show you how to install the magnet here. Basically just push it in with your thumb, finger, or any kind of object. Alright, push it in there so you have a little bit of room on the edge, like I said, so that helps to protect it. You don't want too much of an edge though. I found if you try to make a big winged one with the magnets inside, it doesn't spin, it just pops off. So that's about perfect, just a little edge there, and it just barely fits in there, so it's not going to fall out when it drops in, so it's a beauty that way. And then you just cut another piece a little bit like long enough there, and then you can just trim it a little shorter. So we'll throw in the other magnet here. Now if you want, you can throw another magnet in between the middle too, which seems to work pretty good, so let's do that now. I'll grab another magnet. Here's other magnets. Another thing I do with just the magnets in there as a bar, a stir bar too. That works really well. So these are good magnets to go in. I'll put two of them in there. All right. Just throw those guys in. And same thing, just get something to push it in. Alright, and we're looking at that kind of thing now. So if we want to leave a nice wings on the side, like we'll try this and see what happens. That's a nice big piece like that. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if this spins up good. Otherwise we'll just trim off the sides a little bit as we go. Alright, so let's try this. Alright folks, and I want you guys to see the final product here. Alright, so this jar I showed earlier in the video how it has 12 sides here, or sorry, is this one 8? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 sides here. I have another one that has 12. I get these at thrift stores. Let's see, here's the other one with 12 right here, I believe. Let me just check it. This one could be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 12. So there's 12, and the 1-inch magnets, these magnets fit right on those seams, so it can actually all line up right around there, held together, and create a powerful 12-sided vortex. This was only $3.99 here for this glass jar. And like I said, this one is 8, so you can probably find 6-sided ones, and that'll give you a perfect geometric structure. This is so cool. So there's the magnet in the bottom there, the one that you just saw me make, and that was one of the reasons for making this one with the small hole, is so that it could do these little jars and these experiments here, and it's turning out really nice. So this is living spirulina from a living spring near where I live, and this is how to grow spirulina by spirulina by oxygenating the water with the rich minerals and nutrients that create the spirulina. So let's turn this on and show you how this works here. And if you want to learn how to grow spirulina at home with these water vortexers, check out my YouTube channel, Living Spirulina or Miracle Algae. Alright, so here we go. See the tube torus in there from the circular magnets? There comes, boom, look at that. Amazing, that looks so beautiful. And watch, you'll see the oxygenation, and you'll see the bubbles start to form in the water up here as well. Spirulina generally grows where there is a spiraling effect, where the natural spring comes out of the earth. There's a spiraling effect that pressures the water up. Now this here will get a beautiful magnets around this as well. You can grab probably the 1.5-inch magnets and put them perfectly around. So you can measure these little places here on the glass, and then get the exact same magnets, so you can apply them perfectly around, and they'll connect, like I said, just like this. So it will be like this kind of thing where you put them together and they connect like this all the way around. So it's all connected, it's all lined up, and it's a perfect structure. And you hear how quiet this is. Now you notice how this magnet popped off there. That can happen once in a while. The larger the jar, the more chance it pops off. When it's in a small jar like this, it just it goes really quick. Alright, I mean, there's no room for the magnet to slide the water. It just keeps it in rotation and structures the magnet itself. So we'll turn it on again. See how quick it reacts too. It's very quick. Okay, spin it off again there. So there may be a little bit more work to do on this one. And in particular, the reason why is this this particular carboy here, I learned these are not the ones you want necessarily that have the rough edge on the bottom, and there's no little indent in there, but they still work. And I've had this on already for 10 minutes or so. It's been working. So they do pop off once in a while, but they're generally pretty good. We'll try getting it going again. But look how beautiful this is here. We could try as an experiment. I could get this 12-sided one and apply the magnets and get that going as well. But for now, I'm gonna take a break for a little while. Alright, and we're back here, folks. Couple more last fine-tunements to this unit here. We have the 12 and the 8 here now, so I can also apply the magnets to here like that. I may do that in future videos when I experiment more, but for now I'll just show you how these ones work and the fine-tunement of adding a couple screws here on the side in order to keep all your magnets together. That way your magnets just go right on the side here, and you'll always know if you have both of your magnets, or however many, 3 you have. Then you'll know without looking in the jar, because sometimes it's hard to see what's in the jar. So yeah, so let's do that here. Just screw 2 or 3 of these in, right in the sides here. Alright, one there, and one over here, and that's really all you need. You only really need 2 magnets anyway, so should be good enough here. Hold that down there. There. Alright. So basically all I'm saying that this is going to do is I just do that on all my units. That way it's easy to know if you have your magnets there. So this magnet will just go here like that. This magnet will go here. And it's as simple as that. Just like that. So you'll know if your magnets are going to be oxidizing if they're in there. So there it is. This is the one I made. You saw I took out the magnet and put a bigger magnet in the middle and just a little bit of edges on the side there so that you can drop it in just like that. Or whoops, get the magnet, and you just adjust this to the middle so the magnet's in the middle. The magnet will move, so you just look on all the angles and get it in the middle. This one, drop in, move it to the middle, and yeah, we'll turn this on and show you what these babies can do. That was the purpose of this one, because my other one here, if you haven't seen this tutorial, check it out as well. You see how big the holes are in this one. This is only for the big carboys here, and so this one is for these little jars and stuff. So alright, let me just plug this in, we'll turn it on and watch this beautiful structured water, secret geometry water, the tube torus. Beauty. Beautiful structuring, as you can see. Nice vortex on there. Very quiet. Oxygenation of the water. And then when we apply the magnets to the outside, we can change the hydrogen bond angle of the water and change the molecular structure. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Try and make these yourself. They're really easy to do. If you watch this tutorial, basic got the concept, it's pretty easy. and I highly suggest using these reverse fans. So let's try this. Look at that, it's changed directions right there on the spot with the magnet, and these little ones, it works like that. So change this one, boom, going the other direction now. So we live on the northern hemisphere. Spinning it to the left deactivates the microbes, brings it to a neutral, balanced state. Then by spinning it to the right like this, we charge the water, and we charge the water and structure the water. It's structuring. If you live on the southern hemisphere, it's the exact opposite. You would deactivate and bring the water to neutral position, a balanced neutral position, by turning it to the right, and charging it and structuring it by turning it to the left. So there it is, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flush Man. We'll see you next time.